This is Nancy Akerly from Liberty Grove Paper Arts. I am passionate about paper, but I also am passionate about boxes. And I've got a great new collection of boxes this year that I'd love to share with you. I'm trying to teach classes that build on basic skills. So we start with the very beginning skills, how to make the box, how to cover a basic box, and then go on from there. And you'll see that a lot of these boxes do build on that basic tenet. So let me show you what I have. There's this one that's kind of fun. It's just a little, pretty much a very simple box, very basic. And when you open it, there's a little friction lock. So this will stay put, won't wiggle around. And this is called a book within a box. So we did a little Coptic stitch and then some twist winding stitches. And it fits right inside of that little box. This is called the magic box because when you open it on one side, it has two different compartments. And then when you open it on the other side, there's just one compartment. The hinges are made on the basis of a Jacob's ladder. It's a very clever box and fun to make. Lots of opportunities for embellishments, whether on the top, on the sides, or even on the inside covers. It's a really fun box to make. And then this I call the cask box. It looks like a little cask. It has little handles on the side. This is wonderful paper. It's really high quality Chiyogami paper that I use for my boxes. I needed something to put my washi tape in. So I just made a box with three little divisions. And right now it's pretty messy, but it's also really handy. And I wanted something that was easy in and out for the class, so I just used elastic. Zhenjiang Bao is a really interesting creation. The Zhenjiang Bao is called a Chinese thread book, and it's used in excuse me, central and southwestern China. And the women there will take these little packets and put them in the pocket of their tunics or their jacket and use them for storing little sewing scraps or sometimes patterns, needles, threads, little snippets of things. However, we can use them for all different kinds of things. And here, if you take this top one, it's called a twist box, and you unfold it. There are 4 of those. You can see. And we fold that back down, and then we can open up this box. And there are 4 of those as well. Then we take that, and we can open it up down here, and there's another box underneath there. So let's see, that's 4, 8, 9, 10, because there's one on each side. Then we open up the next layer, 11, 12. Then we open up the next layer, 13, 14. And then the big box is 15. There is enough room, so this has room to expand. So if you put little things in there that have some width to them, it's not a problem. You probably want more flat things like little sayings or little notes, photographs, all that kind of thing. I'll just show you some of the other possibilities. This is kind of a fun one too. This is done totally with origami. What we're going to do is a combination of folding, gluing, and origami, as well as cutting. So there are little drawers here, and then little drawers there, and then little boxes here, and then Another larger box there. And then the whole thing opens up to a large box on the bottom. We won't be doing this specifically, but you will have the tools to go ahead and do it on your own. You can make little cards out of it as well. You know, there's this little box. Then there's this little box. And then there's this little box. Here's another one. They're fun to make, but embellishing them is the real joy, I'll tell you. So these also all open up, you know, and you can choose. I put the red in the base of that just for the fun of it. And then these, and you can embellish each and every layer of these. And then this. And this. And that. And then the large box. The same exact boxes on the other side. A lot of them we put an obi on, so they're they have, you know, a little belt on them. This is a belt designed by the American queen of paper and folding, Hetty Kyle. And I'll just show you a few more. I won't keep going. This is what they look like when you just finish, and then you embellish from there. And Chiogami paper is a great paper to use for the covers, although in China they often use fabric for the outside for the covers. But Chiogami paper is so strong and so beautiful. Here's another little one, just plain. But what you can do with it is pretty phenomenal. Definitely not plain. And have a lot of fun with these. Pretty plain. This one is a pretty one, very sunny. And I love the opportunity because you leave a little space in the center because that allows it room to you know, have some thickness to the things you put inside of it. And that gives you also more design opportunities and more decoration opportunities. So this little pamphlet is a great example of the kind of thing you can do. You can make cards, you can make little books out of it. You can put a little folder on one side to tuck things into. That would be a great place to put a signature as well. You know, it has the little twist boxes, and then you fold it closed and use a ribbon as a tie instead. There are so many different interesting ways to close the Chinese thread books. This is the class I'm going to be teaching in March. I'm looking forward to it. The next class, the April class, is going to be a desk set with 3 parts. There's a little box that will hold tools and pencils and scissors and all kinds of things, a little tissue box, and then a small anything box. And you can either make a diagonal separator, or you can make it in fourths or halfway across, or none at all. It's up to you. It also has a friction lock to keep that top closed. It's very useful, very practical, and uses all the basic skills, box making skills of making boxes and covering them with paper. I just love making these boxes. I love designing them. I love teaching them. I guess the truth is I love functional art of most kinds. The next one I want to show you is the latch box. And that's a sweet little box that has kind of a surprise when you open it. It opens and closes with this locking latch. And what you learn to do with this is you learn to use book cloth really well, and you learn to make this interior box and cover it. So again, using all those basic box making skills, and you do a very little bit of cutting when you make the latch part. But I just think it's a nice box, and it makes this satisfying little snick when you close it. This is one I've had for almost 15 years, and I use it constantly because it is full of all of my different threads for binding books. And then I have, let's see, you see I have different tools in the cover. There's a cutting tool over here and a corner tool there, and that's just a pencil. Sometimes I'll have a scissors up in here instead. But this is just so practical. And again, this is nothing more than a box with, let's see, boards covered with book cloth and paper and connected. Let's see, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boards. And this one latches a little bit differently. It latches just a little differently. With the two halves that come down like this. So there are lots of opportunities for decoration on these two. But also a lot of good basic skills, and who can't use a toolbox, right? And then once you have those basic skills down and you know how to make boxes and you know how to cover boxes, then there are some really delightful opportunities. This is called a puzzle box, because when you open it, inside there are 5 boxes which are like a little puzzle. You can take all the boxes out, and then inside the very bottom there's a little secret compartment, so you could keep love letters down there or anything you want to just keep private and keep nice. And it's hidden when you put the boxes inside. This also is a very versatile box. And again, using book cloth, a combination of book cloth and paper, and then covering a box underneath here, and then these 5 boxes. It's time consuming, but it's also really, really charming. There are lots of different kinds of clasps. I just happen to be showing you ones that have the same clasp, but there are many other options as well. You put that up here. It's called a stacking box with a secret compartment. And it's called stacking because, you know, you can lift off different parts and you'll have 2 boxes down there. But it looks like there's nothing else. There's no way to get this open. Let's put that back on there and that back on there. And there's a little secret compartment inside of there that it doesn't hold much, but it could hold a ring or a pair of earrings or something really fun. So making the secret compartment in the top section is a whole other different skill and technique to learn, as well as, I don't know if you can see this lid, which is kind of rounded, and it's also kind of rounded on the bottom, which is a cool thing to know. Basic treasure box, really, but with a basket. So this comes off. Again, has a friction lock, which is a good idea. And then here's a little box with a partition. And when you look in the bottom of this, there are also partitions. So this is a really great for a man's dresser, if they still wear cufflinks especially, but also for little things they keep in their pockets. But for women, there are so many opportunities for jewelry and other things. And again, you can make this with just 2, or you can make it with a diagonal partition. Same thing with the little basket that goes inside. Quartet box, you make 4 separate boxes and then put them all on the same base and decorate them. But each one of these lifts up in a different direction. And maybe you can't lift them all up at once without a little adjusting, but that's what it looks like. And this is a little bit of work to do, but again, it's so much fun. And once you have the basic skills of working with book cloth, making a hinge, and making these individual boxes and covering them, this goes so smoothly. it's like so many other things that look complicated. If you take just one thing at a time, it all works out pretty well. And I call it a pagoda box because on some of these, I've made many, 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 many layers coming up to the top before I have a little charm or a handle or something on the top. But this has 4 different drawers that you make. And again, it's something that looks a little daunting, but it's one step at a time. You know, this top comes off, so you have a nice large section in the top. And then all these really sweet little drawers. The last 2 I want to show you, I really have fun doing. This one is called the Tower Box. And it doesn't have to have this kind of top. It could have just decorative things on the top. But you take it out of its bottom, and then this top becomes the cover for that box. And you open this up, it has all these different sections for you to put wonderful things in. And they don't have to be in a stair-step formation. You could, have one here, and then the next one would be down at the bottom, and the other 2 in the middle. It's up to you. I like them in the stair-step, but then they have different coverings there. I had so much fun making the tower box. I decided that it would be really fun to kind of make a tower box on steroids. So this I call the Box of Wonders. The Box of Wonders is pretty large. Let me just take the lid off. It's like the tower box. Let me just adjust my camera a little bit. It's like the tower box, but so much more. It opens up like this, and like that. So you have lots of places with little drawers. You can choose whether you want little drawers. I made little shelves because I wanted to lay pamphlet books down in there. And when this is open, I often store little miniature books up here. There are so many different things you can do. You could make all of these boxes instead and put things, different treasures in them. This is a box of great possibilities. And again, it's made with panels of book cloth and paper, just like so many of the other pieces that you make before you get to this box. I would say you almost certainly should make at least a tower box, if not some of the other boxes before you get to this. And it's just a matter of taking the time to make all of the different little boxes and drawers and things like that. And then it closes up, and the top holds it closed. Okay, that's a little tour of my boxes. I hope you enjoyed them. I think besides binding books and doing origami and marbling and things like that, making boxes is really one of my favorite things to do. I hope you give it a try and enjoy it too. Thanks for watching.